His clothing that he wore this day was stripped from him, taken away from him. He was hung upon the cross naked for all the world to see, to mock him and to laugh at him. His clothing symbolizes the mocking and the laughter, reaching this point where the soldiers who've nailed him to the cross simply play games as he languishes and suffers. We know that everything in Revelation is symbolic of other things. It's a highly symbolic book. We know that, of course. And so some will argue that the blood on his robe points back to his crucifixion, is a reminder that here on this judgment day that he once bore judgment. And it may very well, it may be that, but I'm inclined to view it in another way. Because we read here in Revelation of a description of God's wrath that goes something like this, that he will tread the winepress of the fury of the wrath of God. And then we're given this vivid description of blood flowing out like rivers through the streets. And the imagery that John is drawing on there is, of course, the winepress. And if you know anything about wine presses, you know that in much of the world, even today, still people tread the grapes with their feet. They walk on them to crush them. And as they crush the grapes underneath their feet, then the juice will flow out through a little trough and go into a container where then it can be processed and fermented and changed into wine and all of those sorts of things. But when you did that, of course you were barefoot because you didn't want to ruin your sandals. But you were also likely, if you didn't pull up the edge, the hem of your robe, you were likely to get all of this bright juice on the bottom of your robe. And I'm inclined to think that the point here is that the robe of Christ is stained with the blood of those that he has come now to judge. That this is a symbol not of his past suffering, but this is a symbol of his future victory. And it's gory to us. It feels sometimes overly violent when we read these sorts of things, and that's the point. That's the point. Judgment Day will not be a day of celebration for those who fall under the wrath of God. It will not be. Judgment Day will not be a day of pleasantries for those who are trampled under the feet of the Son. It will not be. Yes, he rides into Jerusalem, humble, meek, and mild, as they say. But not because he lacks the power to ride in another way, but because that's the divine plan. To lay down his life so that those who trust in him might be saved. But there's another part of the plan, to return. And those who continue in rebellion against him, they will be tread in the winepress of the fury of the wrath of God. His clothes were there as a sign of his humiliation in John chapter 19. But in Revelation 19, they remind us of his great victory and of the coming judgment.